So now I want to read the short part from the text. And so I'm going to start here on page 69 if you have the text and want to follow along with this, the indented section here. So we start out, Om Vajrabhumi Ahom. The basis becomes the powerful golden ground. One of the things as we do this, what we imagine is Mount Meru is made of gold, and then it is four-sided, a little bit like a pyramid, oftentimes articulated as having four sides, which are in the cardinal directions, and each side has jewels on that particular side. So in the east, it's made of silver. On the south, lapis lazuli. The west are, I think, rubies. The source that I found said red crystals. But I seem to recall rubies there, and on the north is gold. And so imagine it being built in that way, but it itself is also made of gold. And then Om Vajra Reke Ahom. On the periphery is surrounding jeweled iron fence. In the center is the supreme king of mountains. That's Mount Meru or Sumeru, it's sometimes written. Majestic in its composition from the 5 kinds of precious substances. Lovely in shape, beautiful and delightful to behold, 7 golden mountains are surrounded by 7 concentric seas. Now, in the mandala offering that we constructed, there was nothing about 7 mountains and 7 seas. But you will see some representations of it. So that Meru is in the center, surrounded by an ocean. And then you'll see 7 rings around that, which consists of 7 rings of mountains divided by an ocean, a sea. Looks more like maybe a small ditch, but it's a small ditch. But it represents symbolically an ocean, so you have 7 rings of mountains and seas. And then in the east is the continent Videha. In the south, Jambudvipa. Jambudvipa is the one that the humans are said to occupy in the south. And then in the west is adorned by Gadaniya. And in the north is the great Uttarakuru and the 8 subcontinents of Deha, Videha, Kamara, and Aparachamara, Sata, Uttaramantrina, Kurava, Kaurava, the sun, the moon, Rahu, and Kaligni. So those are the 4 continents, the sun and the moon. Pardon my very poor pronunciation of those, not terms I use very often. And this bounty of wealth and enjoyment of gods and humans I offer to the precious spiritual mentor and his retinue. Out of compassion, please accept this for the sake of the world. So that is an offering prayer of the 4 continents, the subcontinents, the sun, the moon, all together. Then it goes on and it has this divided according to the 3 kayas, so the 3 separate offerings here. Remember we talked about the 3 separate offering levels, so that's what's being referred to here. The first one is the Namanikaya, and as we do this, we're asked to keep in mind, or not keep in mind, as the case may be, the lack of inherent existence of this. Okay, this is not a physical offering. It has no inherent existence. So there's a sense of emptiness associated with this. So Om Ahong, the palace of the animate and inanimate galaxy, is covered with clouds of vast offerings of Mount Meru and the continents. All of the immeasurable enjoyments of gods and humans I offer to the Namanikaya realm of the precious spiritual mentor. Look upon this with your merciful compassion and accept this. And may all beings be born in the Namanikaya realm. Okay, so there's our outer offering. And so then we do the inner offering, or Sambhogakaya offering. Om Ahom, the palace of pure channels and elements of my own body, is adorned with the splendor and radiance of the 5 faculties. These pristine sense elements and bases I offer to the Sambhogakaya realm of the precious spiritual mentor. Look upon this with your merciful compassion and accept this, and may all beings be born in the Sambhogakaya realm. So that then becomes the inner offering, and then the Dharmakaya, or secret offering, Om Ah Hom. In the palace of pure Dharmakaya dwells the mind itself in the sphere of non-objectivity, emptiness and clarity and non-grasping. This originally pure, innate, primordial wisdom I offer to the Dharmakaya realm of the precious spiritual mentor. Look upon this with your merciful compassion and accept this, and may all beings be born in the Dharmakaya realm. So representing the three levels that we talked about previously. And finally we get to the actual prayer that will be a part of what we are doing here on page 73. Om Ah Hom. By offering this fine and pleasing mandala, may obstacles not arise on the path to enlightenment. May the intention of the sagatas of the three times be realized. And without being confused in the cycle of existence or dwelling in quietism, this is referring to the two extremes of permanence and nothingness, may beings throughout space be liberated. Om Ah Hom, Mega Mahaguru Dewa Dakini, Ratna Mandala Puja Mega Samudra Saparana Samaya Ah Hom. So there is the mantra, and that's the part that we repeat over and over again as a part of the practice, and then we go into the meditation from that. So let me hand out the actual practice here for you, and we will go over that, and you'll see that it is almost identical to what I just read from the last part of the text. So again, I recommend that you do this twice daily, once a week, or once a day for a period of 3 weeks. We begin by setting our intention, and so either I do this practice for the benefit of all sentient beings or other personal intention that you have for this particular practice. Then we take refuge, repeating that 3 times, and then the actual mandala offering. Now here you'll notice that we reappear as Vajrasattva. And so from the last practice where we appeared as Vajrasattva, and as we do the Vajrasattva, at the end of that practice, we get up off of the cushion as Vajrasattva. So we're still Vajrasattva. This is just a reminder. So as Vajrasattva, make the offerings with the hand mudra described in the text. So here's where we make the hand mudra. By offering this fine and pleasing mandala, may obstacles not arise on the path to enlightenment. May the intention of the sagatas of the 3 times be realized. And without being confused in the cycle of existence or dwelling in quietism, may the beings throughout space be liberated. Om Ah Hom Mahaguru Dewa Dakini Ratna Mandala Puja Mega Samudra Sprana Samaya Ah Hom. Okay? And then we would repeat that over and over as many times as you can for the practice, and then we dedicate the merit at the end. So that is the practice that we will be doing for this week. The mantra itself, just to give you an idea of the meaning of that, Om Ah Hom represents the Buddha's body, speech, and mind, of course. Maha means great. Guru, of course, is the teacher, and Dewa refers to the deity or the yidam, and the Dakinis are skygoers, and so Guru, the Guru, Yidam, and Dakini are the 3 roots. So that is the second level of making an offering or taking refuge, So what we're looking at here is the 3 roots. And then Ratna means jewel. And Mandala, of course, is that mandala, the circle or the domain of the deity. Puja is offering. Mega is cloud. Sometimes it's referred to as the cloud of virtue or the cloud of dharma. And Samudra is ocean. And Saparana, or some just say Sparana, is the expanse. and samaya is a vow. So putting that all together, it comes out translated as something like, by the virtue of this offering, may all beings here and now attain the happiness of enlightenment. Okay, so we're making the wish that all beings attain enlightenment when we make this offering. So by the virtue, just a minute, by the virtue of this offering, may all beings attain enlightenment. So that is the intention that we're doing with this offering practice.